All right, so this war, LVT is taking on PBT, and my team this war is Gallon, Torch, and Nebula. So this first fight we have thing, and sadly, I get a phone call right in the middle of this. It cuts off my recording, and I was like, man, and it was a telemarketer, of course, of all people. It had to be a telemarketer. I don't want nothing you're selling. Trying to kill me in war, all the way from who knows where. But I boost up, and it's a simple fight. We play around the rock stacks, and we build up our charges. My goal is to at least 800 or max. Just that way I can make sure I one-shot him, and that's all. I mean, that's it. It's just medium, light, medium, getting him 15, beta special. And you rinse and repeat it. Now, some of this fight, I don't think it's much longer. Yeah, there it goes. But I did show that I did solo this fight. No, ain't nobody going to say, no, man, you cut it out because you died, didn't you? No, I did not. Thank you. I do that on my own. I don't need a telemarketer's help. But me and Psycho Billy was splitting this path. He took the next Mordo, put a pre-fight on this Absorbing Man for me. And I go and I put my Nova on, and we're just going to rinse it with Torch. It went quicker than I thought it would. Because I was slightly nervous about this one, and turns out I was nervous for nothing. And that's even why I throw on an invuln boost, just because I was like, well, I'm liable to mess this one up. But I don't. Everything, goes pretty well. Man, am I still not in this fight? What am I doing? Okay, I don't know what I was doing. Took me a while to put my big boy pants on, I guess. But there we go. With the wags, I can build up my temperature pretty easy. Medium, light, medium. And we're just building them. We're going to throw our L1s as soon as we get them. I'm trying to bait his L1s. That way I can counter it with a heavy. That way I can get him out of his form. But he took so long, he got out of his form on his own. So I'll take it. And that's that. He did. Not much to that one. Now, I go on to move up this knoll because Psycho's taking this one as well. Now, my next fight is Node 24 against Quicksilver. And I hate Quicksilver. I hate everything about Quicksilver. I don't want to fight him. I hate fighting Quicksilver. I really do. But I saw the assignment. I was like, well, all right, we're going to put our big boy pants on today. We's going to have to man up on this one. And I talked to a guy in my battle group. He sent me a video. And I said, all right, cool. I'm going to do exactly what you did. Yours looked easy, so I'm going to do exactly what you did. So he got to the special 2, heavied, and threw the L2 and let the incinerates do some damage as well. Because, he was up to about 260 charges and then about killed him. And by the time the incinerates went off, he was about dead. I was like, cool. This ain't that bad. Okay. We're just going to do that. Now, come on. I'll eventually get into the fight. Jesus. I think half my videos are just me showing boosting and looking at nodes and whatever else I'm doing. Because I know I've seen this boost 3 times on one fight. Come on. Hit the fight button. There you go. All right. Now, back to what I was saying. So that's what we're going to do. I know he's going to evade, so just one hit. I missed that parry. But we're building to our L2. That's the plan here. I didn't invuln for this fight because I don't see the point in invulning for Quicksilver because he does so many hits. It seems like it'd just be wasted. I don't know. Now, I try to bait his L1. I prefer it. That way, if I do something stupid, it doesn't hurt as much as the L2. So we get it out. There he goes, man. He evades again. All right. So I get cornered. All right. So we're going to get out. Now, still just medium like medium. You can see I'm at an L2. So what do I do? Let's see. Oh, let's not parry before we throw it. No, at this point, I'm like, okay. So now we're on to plan B. All because I didn't heavy like I was supposed to. So I go on and bait down his L2, and I'm like, all right. Plan B. So now I finally get the heavy off, and he's about dead. So I'm like, with the power back boost, that L2 did push me to L1, and we can end the fight And luckily, me being an idiot didn't cost me there. But it will later. Don't you worry. My last 2 fights are doozies. So we got Nimrod here, and we're using Nebula. Not much to say about this one. It's got the glancing with armors, yada, yada, yada. So as long as I stay at 5 charges or more, I shut everything off. There'll still be a little bit of glancing, but, he's going to eventually stop getting his armors, and that's what happens. So we just hold block and hold block. There we go. We're at 5. We actually get to 8. But now, okay, we can start hitting him. We're going to glance at the beginning until that armor does fall off, because he won't get another one. And this really is kind of a long fight. It's a really safe fight, really easy fight, but it's long. And you can tell, I've got a plan. I'm just kind of just playing it slow, playing it steady, and just going along. It's just whatever. But I get really impatient. And I'm like, oh, yeah, we about to nuke this. No, we about to get out of this fight. So I go on, I get to 20. I empty his power, parry, drop the L2, bada bing, bada boom. He did. And that's all of that. Now, onto this scroll. I had very specific instructions. Okay, look. Fate sealing, start the fight with 5 parries. That way he gets 5 furies. Don't let him throw an L1, because that turns his furies into armors. Let him throw L2s, because that turns everything into furies. Fate seal and neutralize. I'm like, okay. They're like, Brent, it's not much to it. Don't worry about it. Easy fight. Huh. Okay. Well, I don't do easy apparently very well, because this doesn't go according to plan at all. So, let's see here. I start the fight, and my goal is to parry 5 times. And he doesn't get one there. Okay. There's 1, 2. And now I don't know what I'm doing. And I'm getting cornered. There's 4. All right. There's 5. Throw the L1. Fate seal. Okay. We're off to a good start. Here we go. All right. So now I'm just building up charges. Whatever. And I see the falter coming. I'm like, okay, keeping that in the back of my mind, but he's still neutralized, so let's get hit first, always. And now we're going to parry. Nope. Oh, there's that L1 with nothing up. So I had to get the falter off first. Luckily, I had an L1 at that time. Oh, and it gets another armor from it, because that's awesome. So now I'm just like, oh, boy. But look at these wild dexes, I'm telling you. But all that does give me an L1. Oh, and it gives him another armor. And I'm like, oh, come on, man. Just really? I thought this was supposed to be an easy fight. And I'm stuck on the wall. Just wall dexing. And he's getting armor after armor. So finally I'm like, man, okay. We got to get out of this fight. So I go on in heavy, and I'm just waiting, I was trying to wait till the harvester fall off, but, I went on and threw the L1 because just get me out of this fight. I want out. That did not go according to plan. Now, my last fight is this eye doom, and oh my God. All right. This is the fight that, I really hope that nobody in my alliance watches this, because they don't need to see this, because sometimes I just suck. That's just all I got to say. Sometimes I suck. And this is one of them times. Because this fight is very easy. Build up charges. Kill him with the harvest. Like, it's that simple. It really is. But, of course, this is a rank 5. And I guess I got accustomed to rank 4s, okay? So this one's obviously going to have more health. And, I go into this fight confident. I'm like, okay. Ain't nothing to this. It's just whatever. But I still had the power start 1 on from the scroll. So I go in and throw it. Get it off, because I'm not wanting to build up too many block penetrations. and I'm wanting to build up charges. Like, that's my goal. And my goal is just to bait L1s. Oh, nope, bad idea. I missed that dex. So it's like, okay, whatever. That's just one time. I'll get the next one. I ain't all that worried about it. So, here we go. Still building up charges. And I think I bait this L1? No, I must push. No, here it is. And again, miss it again. I'm like, man, okay, all right. Okay, look, I won't do it 3 times in a row. Nah. Just twice, and then we take a heavy. Wow, I forgot about that one. Like, ooh, okay. Wow. All right, so now, my charge is getting up there, and ooh, yeah, I just blocked that one. I was like, oh, no more dexing. I obviously can't do it. And you can see my charges is at 765. Thought that was enough. I really did. No. 5%. And at this one, he got that regen. I just panic. Go in, throw in the combo, trying to kill him. And I'm like, oh. And at this point, I'm like, uh-oh. What am I going to do now? Because, see, at this point, I'm having to dex. You can tell, man, I'm down to 7%. And I've got to rebuild my charges. I mean, he's got those block penetration. I mean, he's regen, and he was at 5%, and now he's going up to 30, and it keeps going. I'm like, oh, this ain't good. I mean, because he can't touch me. No, not in that one. Woo, okay. If I'm going to dex one, thank God it was then. And right here, I was hoping that spacing was right. I was really like, please be right. And I get out of this fight, and I'm like, oh, my God. I was shaking after that one. I thought my deathless season was done. But that was my war on my main account. I do run a second account in X-Men W. And I don't normally share fights from this one. But I was actually rather proud of this one. And I wanted to show it. It's a Korg boss. Now this alliance, they are tier 1. So it's all the same nodes. Yada yada. They're a Plat 1 alliance. And I was proud of this one. So you can see I'm building up spores. I'm staying close to him. Now, I haven't locked him in yet. There we go. I get him to an L2. I get the spacing right. Lock them in. Now, we're going to bait this L2. Because all I'm wanting to do is keep 20 plus spores. And I do the whole fight. I lock them. I get the spacing right on the L2 and lock them in again. Now, I'm trying not to let him throw an L1. Like, that's part of the plan. Because I've got the L2 spacing down where I can counter his heavy. And then I can counter his heavy with Omega's heavy as well. There's certain times where the spacing just feels right and you'll see me go for it. That's what I do. I don't do it on every heavy. You can see that right here. Relock them in. And I mean, Omega's just melting. I mean, just absolutely melting. Throw my L2, because that's all I'm throwing, just to keep death field up even more. And I can keep betting. That's it. Like, that's done. That was a clean Korg fight. Now, back to the results. We are currently losing to PBT, 4-0. I mean, the war's over unless they just royally choke the last 6 fights, which I don't see happening. We're going to get donutted for the second war in a row, which that's kind of depressing. But I guess it is what it is. But that's all of this one. I thank you, and see you on the next one.